Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Cyberman. I'm Minesh Padwani, a cybersecurity expert. I'm pursuing MTech in cybersecurity and expanding this field from more than 8 years. Today I am going to show you that how to set password policy in Linux machine for authentication, also Windows machine. And that Linux is secure by design. Even though it is, there are many chances for security breaches, as one of the reason is weak passwords. As a system administrator, you must provide a strong password for the users. So because most probably the most system breaches are happening due to weak passwords. So in this tutorial I will describe you to set password policies such as password length, password complexity, password expiration period, and also the set password policies for preventing using old password, and also set account lockout policy after 5 attempts. So let's get started. By default, all Linux operating system require passwords length of minimum 6 characters for the users. So I request you to don't go below this limit. Also, don't use your real name or your any colleague name or your parents or any family member name or the date of birth or any family member's date of birth, as a novice hacker can easily breach such kind of password in minutes. So from my point of view, the good password must always contains more than 6 characters, including a number, a capital letter, and a special character. So let's set password length in our system. So usually the password and authentication related in configuration file are stored in /etc/pam.d. So let's list out this. In here we have to edit the common password configuration file in order to set the minimum length of our password in the line success 2 default ignore obscurus sha1 sha512. So in that minimum length is equal to 8. So my password character length minimum will be 8, and save it. So in we have successfully set the minimum length of our password, and after that we have to set the complexity password in our system. So we will be installing libpam pw quality library, which will install the password quality checking library, which so this setting enforces how many classes like uppercase, lowercase, and other character should be in a password. So let's close the file. Now let's install the library with apt-get install libpam-pw quality, as I have already installed, and it will update the existing library. So it is already showing that it is already the newest version. So let's edit again the common password configuration file and go to requisite. In that we have to mention the D credit for digit, L credit for lowercase, and O credit for other characters, U credit for uppercase. So -1 stands for not like minimum there should be one upper character, one other character, one lower character, and one digit in it. So save it and exit. So save it and exit. Let's clear the screen. So add the user cyberman.tag, sorry, mistyped. Okay, it will not use so. So let's add the user cyberman tag. It is asking for my new password, me@25. I have written. Password is shorter than 8 characters, as I entered only 5 characters, with M upper letter, me@251090. So let's type Minesh@2510. So it has successfully taken the password Minesh@2510. Password successfully updated. It is asking for my full name, Minesh Padwani. Enter. If you want to enter the room number, enter phone number or other information. It will ask the information are true. Press yes. So let's clear the screen again to check the expiration period in our system. So we are going to set the maximum number of days a password may be used, minimum number of days allowed between password change, and number of days warning given before a password expires. So that can be checked into the etc folder with login definition. So in that we have to go to there would be password max, pass minimum, and pass font for password. So here I have already configured for 30 days. Minimum days would be 0 and warning age would be 7. Say you can check for the particular result if you want to by typing sudo check -l cyberman tech. So here you can see the expiration of the password is March 14, 2022. So password change between these days, maximum number of days between password change is 30. And number of days of warning before password expire is 7. Also, you can change it particularly using command line with the sudo check -m for minimum days, -M for maximum days would be 40. For warning before password expire would be capital W. I would edit it to 8, and alongside with your username cyberman tech. Again, let's check it the details of the password description that it has been changed. Okay, so you can set the password expiration day, like maximum number of days after between the password change and minimum number of days between password change. Also number of days of warning before password expires. So let's clear the screen. Now we have to set the policy for preventing using the same password, like minimum 3 or 5 as you want. Also we will set the password expiration period. So also we will set the account lockout policy after 3 or 5 times. So let's install libpam crack-lib library. So PAM is pluggable authentication model, so which is a suite of libraries that allows a Linux system administration to configure methods to authenticate user. So PAM separates the standard and specialized task of authentication. So it will configure that the user is who they say they are. So let's install PAM crack library to provide some plugin strength checking for password. So sudo apt-get install libpam crack-lib. Okay, so I have already installed and it is showing it is already having the newest version. So now we will go to the PAM common authentication configuration file. We will edit it in pam.day directory. So first check it out, it is there or not. Common account, yeah, the common I think. So let's use it with nano editor common authorization file. Let's open it. In that we have to go to auth optional, or you can write it of your own. Okay, so let's add it here. Auth optional pam underscore tally dot so deny equal 5 unlock time equal 900, it could be in microsecond, on error is equal to fail audit. Okay, also even deny root account from authorization, silent. So in this I have kept that if it denies 5 times, if the user enters 5 wrong password, unlock time there would be, their account would be locked for 900 microseconds, and on error even the root account cannot be accessed that. Also save it the file. Now let's edit the common password file. In that, in password requisite, please in that add password requisite for libpam crack library. So password requisite pam underscore crack lib dot so retry is equal to 3, and we have mentioned that minimum length should be 8. So let's mention again with default equal to 3, reject username. Password requisite. We will also add to remember the password, recently used password. So pam underscore pw history dot so use underscore auth tok space remember equal to 5. Save it. Now save it, and also add enforce for root and save it and close the file. So clear the screen. So now let's check the password policy had been updated successfully or not by typing password for existing users cyberman tag. It will ask for my new password as our Minesh 2510 Minesh 2510. So password has already been used, choose another. So here it is showing that have exhausted maximum number of retries for service, so password unchanged as password has been already being used. So let's change the password to Minesh @ 25 only. So it is successfully updated my password. So let's check again by entering the first password again. So it is saying that it is already been used. So we have successfully updated the password policy in Linux system. Thank you. So now we will check for Windows system. So let's get started with Windows password policy. As we configured in the Linux system, same we are going to do in the Windows system. So let's get started. Here, so right click on the start menu, open the computer management. So in that we can see the number of user administrative accounts. We can also configure our different type of account with different privileges. So here we can see in the system tools there is local users and group. So in that users, so here already there is an account called Prince with a basic account. There is an administrative account for administrating, default account, a user default account for that is managed by system. So let's create an account let's edit the. Let's create a new user, Cyberman tag with full name Minesh Padwani. So the password Minesh @2510. Create. So the user has been successfully created. Here we can see Cyberman tag, my full name. So we can set the password again from this. So to set the password policy, open local security policy by typing local security policy, or you can run command secpol.msc to open the local security policy window. In that account policies there is password policies. So there are different type of password policy as I mentioned in the Linux system. So in this enforce password history, it will collect the it will keep the history of passwords, the number of password to be remembered. The maximum number of password to be remembered are 24. So here you can see in the explanation, the security determines the number of unique new passwords to be associated with the user account with between 0 to 24 passwords. So you can keep up to 5, 4, up to number of times you want. If you don't want to enforce this password history policy, you can keep it to 0. The maximum password age is by default here. The maximum password age by default is 42 days here. So the maximum password age you can define from 1 to 999, but you can change up to maximum 999. So here I am giving up to 30 days. So in explanation here also you can see that days between 1 and 999 you can specify the password never expires. So let's apply it. For minimum password age, like this is used for changing the password frequently. You can decide it like it can you can decide it that a user can change it anytime, any day if he wants. So you can keep it to 0, or you can keep it after 2 days. He can change after every 2 days. He can change if he want to, up till the maximum number of days password will expire. So after that there is minimum password length. So if you want a user there should not require a password, you should keep it to 0. But for the security purpose it should be a minimum of 8 characters. So it is my suggestion to keep it up to 8 characters. So by default you can keep it to 0 if no password is required for the particular user. So maximum up to password length you can provide is 20 characters. So and after that there is password must meet complexity requirement, so it is enabled. If it is not enabled, the max complexity password can not be used, or it can be used after that, but complexity requirement is disabled, so any hacker or any attacker can access the user account. After that there is store password using reversible encryption. So the password in the plain text, so keep it disable, as by enabling it will store in the plain text, which could take. So the short-term solution is like to set reminders to change the passwords before they expire, and password should always expire and necessitate a change in order for continued usage of system. And the long-term solution is to implement a password result portal for self-service password operation, adding the password. So having a password management policy is essential not only to secure your business and streamline operation, but to maintain the efficiency and sanity of your employees. So worst weak stolen or reused password pose a significant hazard to companies and cause approximately 80% of data breaches. So whatever the password management policy you decide to implement, ensure that it is communicated to both existing and new users, monitored for compliance and feasibility, and update accordingly to meet the changing and needs of the business. So now I will show you how to reset the password in Ubuntu 21.04 by getting into recovery mode. Into that, select advanced option for Ubuntu and select recovery mode. So it will load the dialog box for recovery mode. So in that we have to select root to recover the password by accessing the root. So it is asking me to press enter to maintain, and let's click OK. So we are already in the root directory. So by default the root partition has read-only privileges, so we have to provide root with write access to. So to remount it with write permission, we have to write mount hyphen write read write hyphen o with remount space backslash enter. So we have also given the write permission into root. Now let's list the users by using the ls command with /home directory and check the number of users present in the particular system. So here are the following users. So we have to reset for Cyberman Tech. So I will type pass wd for Cyberman Tech and hit enter. So it is asking me for the new password. I will write like Minesh with M capital @007, hit enter. Again retype the same, and so for service. So it is showing that password is already being used, as we have mentioned, as we have done it earlier. We have said the 5 recent password we cannot use again. So I have to use another password like Minesh @1122. Enter. Minesh @1122. Again it is asking me @1122. Hit enter. It has updated password successfully. Now we have to exit the recovery mode. So it will show that it will show the recovery menu. We have to resume the normal boot. Press enter. It is showing like we are going to exit the recovery mode and continue the boot sequence. Press OK. It will now boot the operating system in a normal boot sequence. So we have successfully updated the password for our user Cyberman tag. So guys, that's all from my side. If any query, comment down below. So we can learn from here that a password of a Linux system can be modified through recovery mode with root privileges without knowing the password. So this is a disadvantage, also an advantage when you forget the password. Also we learn here the importance of password policy in Linux system as well as Windows system. So comment below if any query. Please reach out to me through comments. Please like, share and subscribe. Stay tuned with Cyberman.